Imagine a world where you stopped looking in the mirror for flaws to fix and started seeing a masterpiece in progress. What if you believed that every challenge, every setback, and every triumph was not a sign of brokenness, but a testament to your evolution? You are not a problem to be solved, but a story unfolding. And that story is one of resilience, growth, and beauty. We live in a culture that tells us we need fixing. Everywhere you turn, there's someone offering a new way to fix your body, your mindset, your career, or your mindset, your career, or your relationships. But what if I told you that you are not broken? You are evolving. Just as the seasons shift, the tides turn, and the sun rises each day, you are constantly changing. This is not a flaw, it's a feature of being alive. You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. This quote captures the essence of what I want you to take away today. You don't need to wait for some mythical moment of perfection to celebrate who you are. Perfection isn't the goal, growth is, and growth is messy, imperfect, and stunningly beautiful. Think of a tree battered by storms, its branches twisted and scarred. Do we look at it and say it's broken? No, we marvel at its resilience, at how it continues to reach for the sky despite everything. You are no different. Those scars, those challenges you've faced, they don't make you less, they make you more. They tell the story of a life lived, of lessons learned, of strength built. Self-improvement isn't inherently bad, but when it comes from a place of believing you're not enough, it becomes toxic. When you think of yourself as something to be fixed, you lose sight of the extraordinary person you already are. It's time to shift the narrative. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me, ask, what's right with me? You'll be amazed at how much there is to celebrate. Don't be afraid of your scars. They are proof that you were stronger than whatever tried to hurt you. Every time you faced a challenge and came through the other side, you grew. Growth is painful. It stretches you, pushes you, forces you to confront things you might rather avoid. But it also transforms you. It helps you discover strengths you didn't know you had. It shapes you into someone wiser, kinder, and more compassionate. Stop measuring your worth by the standards of others. The world will always have opinions about who you should be and how you should act. But those opinions are not your truth. Your truth lies in your heart, in your soul, and in the quiet moments when you feel most like yourself. Trust that voice. Trust that you are enough as you are, even as you continue to grow. You cannot heal in the same environment that broke you sometimes. The pressure to fix ourselves comes from the people or places around us. It's okay to step away. It's okay to create a space where you feel safe to evolve without judgment. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. You owe it to yourself to prioritize your growth over others' expectations. Remember that evolution isn't linear. There will be days when you feel like you've taken 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. That's okay. Progress isn't a straight line, it's a spiral. Each time you circle back to something you thought you'd moved past, you approach it with a little more wisdom and a little more strength. That's growth in action. You are not behind, you are not late. You are exactly where you're meant to be. So easy to compare your journey to someone else's, but comparison is a thief of joy. Your path is uniquely yours, and it doesn't have to look like anyone else's to be valid or worthwhile. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small they might seem. Every step forward is a victory. Let's talk about self-compassion. We're so quick to offer kindness to others, but hesitate to extend the same grace to ourselves. Why is that? Why do we speak to ourselves in ways we would never speak to a friend? Start treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you offer to others. You deserve it. You always have. Growth doesn't come from a place of self-loathing. It comes from self-love. When you love yourself as you are, you create a foundation for true change. Not change born out of shame or fear, but change that honors your potential and respects your journey. This kind of growth is sustainable because it comes from a place of alignment, not resistance. I think about the people you admire most. Are they perfect? Of course not. They're human, just like you. What makes them inspiring is not their lack of flaws, but how they embrace their imperfections and use them as fuel for growth. You have that same power within you. It's not about erasing your flaws, but learning to see them as part of your unique beauty. Take a deep breath. Feel your heartbeat. That's proof of life, of growth, of evolution. You don't need to do anything extraordinary to be worthy of love and respect. You are enough simply because you exist. Anything else you achieve, any changes you make, are just a bonus. So what do you do now? You stop trying to fix yourself. Instead, you start accepting yourself. You start listening to your needs, honoring your boundaries, and celebrating your progress. You start seeing yourself not as a project, but as a person, beautiful, flawed, evolving. Be patient with yourself. Nothing in nature blooms all year. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Becoming the person you're meant to be takes time. Give yourself that time. Be gentle with yourself in the process. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and that everything you're going through is shaping you into the person you're becoming. You are not broken. You are evolving. And that evolution is a gift not just to you, but to the world. So step forward with courage, with kindness, and with the unshakable belief that you are enough, because you are. You always have been, and you always will be. Perfection is an illusion. It's a moving target, always out of reach. The truth is, you don't need to chase it. You don't need to change who you are to feel worthy, loved, or successful. You are already enough. Right now, in this moment, with all your so-called flaws and imperfections, you are enough. Let that sink in. We are often told to fix ourselves, fix our bodies, fix our habits, fix our personalities. Fix our personalities. But here's the thing, what if you're not broken? What if the very idea of fixing yourself is what's holding you back? You don't need fixing because you are not a problem. You are a human being constantly growing, learning, and evolving. And that, my friend, is more than enough. Strive for progress, not perfection. These words remind us that the goal isn't to become perfect, it's to grow. Growth is not a straight line, and it's not always pretty. It's messy, unpredictable, and often uncomfortable. But it's real. It's powerful, and it's yours to own. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. When you stop trying to fix yourself, you free up space to actually know yourself. Have you ever paused to truly listen to your own heart? To ask yourself what you need, what you want, and what makes you feel alive? That's where true transformation begins, not with criticism, but with compassion. Not with shame, but with curiosity. You are not a machine with parts that need replacing. You are a dynamic, evolving being. Imagine a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. It doesn't criticize itself for not being a butterfly sooner. It doesn't rush the process or try to skip steps. It simply grows, trusting that the process will take it exactly where it's meant to go. You are no different. Comparison is the thief of joy. How often do we compare ourselves to others, measuring our worth against their achievements, their appearance, their lives? But here's the truth, their journey is not your journey. Their path is not your path. You are on your own unique adventure, and it is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust it. When you start to see your imperfections not as flaws, but as part of your story, everything changes. Those moments of struggle, those times you fell and had to get back up, they are not signs of weakness. They are proof of your strength. They are what make you you. There is nothing more powerful than a person who embraces their whole self, flaws, scars, and all. Growth begins at the edge of your comfort zone. It's not about fixing what's wrong, it's about leaning into the discomfort of growth. It's about choosing courage over comfort, progress over perfection. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you are evolving. Every time you face a challenge head on, you are becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Self-love isn't about thinking you're perfect. It's about knowing you're worthy, even when you're not. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and respect you'd offer to a dear friend. Think about it, would you ever speak to a friend the way you sometimes speak to yourself? Probably not. So why do we do it to ourselves? You deserve to give yourself grace, to forgive yourself for the times you fell short, to honor the effort you've made, even if the outcome wasn't perfect. Life isn't about being flawless, it's about being real. It's about showing up, doing your best, and learning along the way. You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. This is one of the most freeing truths you'll ever hear. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. You can be growing and evolving while still being enough just as you are. Think of a tree in a forest. It doesn't apologize for its crooked branches or uneven growth. It simply grows, reaching for the sunlight in its own unique way. It provides shade, beauty, and life just by being itself. You are that tree. You don't need to straighten every branch or smooth out every imperfection to be valuable. You already are. When you focus on fixing yourself, you miss out on appreciating who you are. You miss the beauty of the present moment, the magic of your journey. What if you let go of the need to be perfect and instead embrace the process of becoming? What if you celebrated your growth, even the small steps, instead of fixating on what's wrong? Be yourself. Everyone else has already taken these words. Remind us that we are not meant to be copies of someone else. Your quirks, your differences, your unique perspective on the world, they are your superpowers. They are what make you stand out, what make you unforgettable. Don't hide them. Embrace them. The next time you catch yourself thinking, I need to fix this about myself, pause. Ask yourself, what if this is part of what makes me, me? What if the things you see as flaws are actually gifts? What if they are the very things that make you relatable, human, and real? Growth is not about arriving at some final destination where everything is perfect. It's about the journey. It's about learning, evolving, and becoming more of who you truly are. When you let go of the need to fix yourself, you open the door to true transformation. You allow yourself to evolve naturally, beautifully, and authentically. You are enough. You have always been enough. You will always be enough. Let these words be your mantra. Let them guide you when doubt creeps in or the world tries to tell you otherwise. You don't need to earn your worth. It's already yours. It always has been. So stop fixing yourself. Start celebrating yourself. Start believing in your potential, in your resilience, in your unique path. Trust that you are exactly where you're meant to be, even if it doesn't look like what you expected. Trust that you are growing in ways you can't yet see.